Hi Jim, we're looking ahead to Falkirk on Saturday. Falkirk's just part of the company with Peter Houston, which makes for an interesting dynamic in the game.
Yeah, I think it was a very tough decision that Falkirk made there, and obviously from a manager's point of view, I thought Peter's done an unbelievable job at Falkirk over the last few years to finish second in a league that had Rangers and Hibs and Dundee United was outstanding. But we all know that in the managerial profession that is very precarious. I think what they'll do is it maybe eases the pressure and maybe the responsibility in some of on the players, and they might get into the game a little bit more relaxed, and it'll make them dangerous opponents.
Talk about a managerial bounce, people refer to that when maybe a manager leaves a club. Did you believe in that? Do you think that can affect players?
As I mentioned, Jonathan, what happens is players just naturally relax a little bit. There's a different voice on the training pitch. Obviously some of the criticism that we've been directed at them is deflected. So when you're relaxed and when you feel a little bit more composed, then you'll play better. But Falkirk have got some very, very talented players. I mean, I fully expect them to be one of the main challengers come the end of the season. But all we can do is focus on our game, have the same degree of commitment we had last week, and if we do that, then we'll make it a difficult day for Falkirk as well.
You mentioned that you were very pleased with the performance of Dundee United, if not the result, and you hope for replicate that.
Yeah, you're never happy to lose a football match, but we lost it because we made a couple of errors, not because that Dundee United gave any more than we did, and took up to Tannadice and compete as well as we did. I was delighted with the players. But we've done that. I said, other than maybe one game against Livingston where I felt we were really outplayed, every other game has been really, really even, really close. We managed to come out and top in a few, and last Saturday unfortunately that didn't happen. So I fully expect another very close encounter against Falkirk, and keep our fingers crossed that we can come out on top.
Speaking to you all day, you were saying that a lot, the games against Falkirk have been really tight and sort of affairs.
Yeah, I mean again, they're a terrific side, very organised, know their jobs. They've got a real balance between physical presence and they've got like the pace up top with Austin and creativity in midfield. So as I said, a very, very good side, but haven't quite clicked yet. And obviously we'll be hoping it's going to be another couple of weeks before that happens. But we do know I think there'll be extra, an extra sort of incentive from perhaps the players this week to try and prove a point, and we've got to be ready for that.
Jai Quitongo went off injured against Dundee United and spoke to the other day. Is there any update today after training?
Yeah, he's still feeling it a little bit. It's a difficult one, the hamstring, because it's a difficult one to test later in the week, because it can react through a sprint and it can react through fatigue sometimes. So it's difficult. And if you go and do sprints with him and he aggravates it, then you're kicking yourself, because it might just need another 48 hours rest or so. So we'll give him to the last minute, but at this moment in time I would say he's in the doubtful category. Yeah, Michael Tidser's been a little bit unwell as well for a couple of days. Again, we never know how these things settle down. Thomas Aware and Ricky Lamy missed a couple of days training just with Ricky with a back spasm and Thomas with a groin injury. He's had it for a couple of weeks but played through it. So we'll just looking at everyone, making sure everyone's as healthy as they possibly can be. Sometimes you've got to play with a niggle, but as long as it doesn't impact your performance too much, then fair enough. As I said, we want everyone available, and I think we're really looking forward to the game. I think it'll be a really evenly matched, well contested game.
Another thing from the Dundee United team was Ben Armour come off the bench and done well. He was on for 10 minutes and made a bit of an impact in that time. Ben's been doing well in the 20s.
Yeah, he's done really well. I mean, we had a chat with Ben. We signed him in a short-term contract in the summer, we had a chat with him at the end of the season to say, listen, you need to go away in the summer and work and come back and in as good a condition as you possibly can be, and he fully took that on board. He came back with a real spring in his step and a real desire to improve, and so far he's made really significant strides forward, and we just, like any young player, you just want to try and keep doing that, keep knocking on the door, and when the opportunity comes your way, try and make the best of it, and he's certainly done that against two very powerful centre backs in Edgin Gailey and Matt Dunham last week. So I think that will give him confidence and a little bit of belief, and also from our point of view, we want as much competition as we can get.
More good news for the club was Ross Doohan was called up to Scotland under 21 squad during the week.
Yeah, I mean Ross again, we spoke to Ross before he came in, we mentioned it, to go and compete with Derek Gaston And I think Gatsby's form has been excellent as well. I mean, again, an outstanding save last week in the first half against Dundee United, and in turn I think that comes from, you know, knowing that there's a bit of competition there. And for Ross to go away with under 21s, it's great experience for him. Again, it shows that people really believe in him, think he's got that ability and quality to play at that level. So we're delighted for Ross, and you know, we've had players in the past, whether it be Aidan Nisbet, Declan McManus, Jai Quitongo, Gary Oliver. I mean, all these guys have all picked up under 21 recognition, you know, when they've been at Morton and things like that. So that's great.
Excellent, Jim. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.